This podcast is rated S for spoilers. Listener discretion is advised. Don't forget to view our spoiler-free companion video on our Half Past Podcast channel on YouTube. Welcome to the Half Past Podcast. This is episode 16, the movie review of Hotel Transylvania 2. We will also be discussing the Good Dinosaur trailer. I'm Graham Ricks, and here with me is my friend and co-pilot Ian Jones.
Hey buddy, just real quick, can I talk about something that's like grinding my gears, Peter Griffin style?
Oh, I am always for the grinding my gears. Let's hear it.
This one isn't on, like, we were talking about doing the movie theater etiquette video.
Yes.
This isn't on that, okay? But in the movie theater for this thing, there was an adult, a grown adult, sitting there in the theater enjoying a pomegranate. A pomegranate! How do you even eat a pomegranate in a dark movie theater? I don't get it. And he was enjoying it so much, I just wanted to take it from him, look at him for 1 second, and then throw it at the screen. It just was so annoying. Who brings fruit to a movie?
That's insane.
No way.
I can't believe you saw a guy eating a pomegranate.
That is crazy. That took some thought. That took like planning. Like he went to the grocery store.
Yep.
He got a pomegranate. Smuggled it in.
Oh man, I like to think that he only eats pomegranates for movies, and that's the only time he ever eats them.
I hope he got one of the little seeds stuck in a tooth, and he still can't get it out today. Like it's been bugging him for a few days now.
Oh, that's unbelievable. Oh man. All right, so let's skip to the Good Dinosaur trailer.
All right.
So this is Pixar's next movie coming up, and it's their first movie where they've done two in the same year, which is unusual for them. They're not like the other companies who try to squeeze two in every single year.
Yeah.
And I'm slightly concerned because of that, because they've done so well with, most of their movies. And I was hoping that they would just keep doing the 1 year thing and then just beating everybody and just keep going. But I guess they're trying to squeeze some more movies in. Now, The Good Dinosaur, I still have no idea what this movie is about at all after looking at the trailer.
Right, yeah.
It's something about Pixar's trailers, man. It is... Sometimes it just doesn't make any sense to me. And the only thing is definitely a dinosaur befriends a human, and they obviously go on an adventure. But there's nothing else there. You just don't know what the plot is at all. And this movie also looks very Pixar. And when I say that, I mean, it obviously doesn't look like the other ones that are just like a family fun movie. It's already looks like it's just going to be kind of a hitting all the senses type of thing. You got something?
Yeah, well, it kind of almost looks like Bambi in a way.
Yeah, right?
Like with Bambi and Thumper just going off and doing their own thing.
Yeah, that is a very good example. That's exactly what it looks like. And it also looks very gorgeous, though. Like, the environment just looks really, really pretty. They've done a very good job with this, with just the way, like, the forest scenes or whatever looks like. And it's a gorgeous looking movie. So I hope it's a good one. It's hard to judge these Pixar movies with their trailers, because I don't know. I feel like their trailers are just never really that good.
No, they aren't, because we have this conversation all the time.
Yeah. This
one doesn't look that good.
Yeah. It's amazing how often that happens with the Pixar movies. What do you got for this trailer, man?
I don't know. I mean, obviously we're going to go and check it out, but I mean, there isn't really enough there for me to even make a judgment call, other than I wonder how much dialogue there's actually going to be.
Yeah, because there's nothing in the trailer. There's no speaking at all. So
What? Yeah.
the only thing you get is like the boy howling or something at the end of it. So,
Which, I mean, they've done one like that. You know, Wall-E doesn't say anything.
No, he doesn't. And that movie was great. So we'll see what happens. All right, now that we're done with this Good Dinosaur trailer, let's go ahead and get into the Hotel Transylvania 2 review.
All right, Hotel Tranny 2.
Yep.
Tranny 2.
God dang it. Oh, that's terrible. Dracula and his friends return at his hotel for monsters in order to try and bring the monster out of his now half-human, half-monster grandson.
Okay, yep, that's the whole thing.
That's the entire plot of the movie.
That is it.
This movie's directed by Genndy Tartakovsky, famed animation director.
Yes.
Who also did Dexter's Laboratory, Samurai Jack, and Star Wars Clone Wars.
Yeah, he did the first Hotel Transylvania. This guy's awesome.
Oh yeah, we are definitely fans of Genndy Tartakovsky. We just kind of grew up with him. And
oh yeah.
I hope he continues to do these animation movies. I keep hoping he does that. Did you see the one where, because he was planned on doing Popeye.
Oh, the, like, test?
Yeah, did you see the test of that?
Yeah, I did. I checked that out.
It looked great. And I guess they just had one of those artistic differences things, and so they cut him from the project, which is a shame. I want to see him get as much work as possible. I want him to continue on with this because I really do like Genndy Tartakovsky.
Well, I think Samurai Jack, I saw an interview with him, and I think he was talking about maybe not doing a live action, but doing an animated one. I think it would be cool to see him do a live action.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that either. I really wouldn't mind seeing him do that either, and I hope he does it, because, you know, it's just, he's very similar to like Brad Bird, where you just like him, and he's really good at what he does, and hopefully he continues on. This movie starring Adam Sandler as Dracula. Yes, Adam Sandler.
All right.
Who's in The Waterboy, Big Daddy, and Mr. Deeds.
Yeah, also that Pixels movie we had to go see.
That we did earlier this year.
Do you remember when vampires used to be cool?
Yeah.
Like they're like before they got taken over, and there was that whole moody.
Yep. It's very interesting, which actually we might come up here later on.
All right.
Andy Samberg is Jonathan. He was in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, That's My Boy, and The Watch.
Yeah, he was in Hot Rod, too. Did you ever check that one out?
No, I didn't watch Hot Rod.
It's, I'll tell you, it's got some hilarious scenes in it.
I'll definitely check it out, which is what I said last time. But
right, yeah. I keep bringing it up. But, you know, I wonder, did this movie, this is such an Andy Samberg type character.
Yeah.
Like, and I know you're not his biggest fan.
No, so I really don't like Andy Samberg.
All right.
Selena Gomez is Mavis. She was in Spy Kids 3D Game Over, Horton Hears a Who, and Arthur and the Invisibles sequels, which I wasn't aware that movie had sequels.
Yeah, I never saw it, so,
That's weird because I'm pretty sure Luc Besson did those movies, who actually does some pretty good movies, but...
Hey, so did you finish the first one, Hotel Tranny 1?
I did. I watched it. I remember telling you the last time I, fell asleep halfway through.
Yeah,
well, I actually watched it the night before I saw it. Hotel Transylvania 2. So I watched the whole thing all the way through.
So maybe you can tell me, because I was trying to remember. I don't recall Mavis actually having that many lines in the first one.
No,
I could be wrong.
She didn't have that many lines in the first one.
But I wasn't even sure if they switched actresses. I guess it's still...
No, it's still Selena
Gomez.
Yeah, it's still her. Kevin James is Frankenstein. He was Paul Blart Mallclap. Grown Ups and King of Queens.
The one guy you don't want to be stranded on a desert island with. Because if it comes down to cannibalism, he's going to eat you. That will happen.
Oh, man. Steve Buscemi as Wayne. He was in Reservoir Dogs, Con Air, and Armageddon.
Yeah, he's ugly on his best day.
Oh, that's just so harsh. Talented actor, though. I've always liked Steve Buscemi. David Spade is Griffin. He was in Tommy Boy, Black Sheep, and Joe Dirt.
Yeah, all those suck. Sorry.
Oh, whoa.
I love Chris Farley as much as the next guy, but...
Whoa. That's kind of harsh there.
Let's face it, of the two, we got stuck with,
Well, yeah.
We got stuck with Paul McCartney when we really want, Lennon. Right?
Oh, sometimes, man, the things you say is just a little too hard.
Oh.
Keegan-Michael Kay as Murray. He was in Mr. 3000, the Lego Movie, and Tomorrowland, which was what we rated earlier this year.
He's in everything, man.
He's been popping up a lot, yeah.
He and Kevin Hart are taking over.
Yep. Asher Blinkoff is Dennis, who was he's just been in a bunch of shorts and this movie.
Yeah, he's an actual 6-year-old actor.
Yes.
Who doesn't sound like an actor. He just sounds like a 6-year-old.
Yep, pretty much.
So that's why he got the part.
Fran Drescher as Eunice. She was in Jack, the Beauty and the Beast, or the Beautician and the Beast, and The Nanny. Of course, that show. You remember The Nanny?
Oh, yeah.
You ever watch that show?
Well, yeah.
I watched it too.
Usually on mute, though.
Oh, okay. All right. Last up here, we have Molly Shannon as Wanda. She was in Night at the Roxbury, Never Been Kissed, and of course, Superstar. All right, now that we're done with these characters, Jones, let's get into our quirks and likes.
All right.
All right, let's go ahead and start with my quirks. Here's a quirk that I have that's common with these animation movies is I hate when they dance the movie off.
Oh, dang it. You stole it from me. I was going to end with that. Okay. All right.
I'm going to go ahead and say it right at the beginning that it really annoys me. They did it in the first one, and they did it in this one. And it's really common with these animated movies that they decide that they just don't, it seems like they don't know how to end the movie.
They end with a dance.
They end with a dance. And I'm just like, every time I see it, it just kind of bothers the heck out of me. And I'm like, argh.
Oh, damn you for saying that first. All right. So, well, I knew one of us was going to jump on that.
Well, because
okay.
It's way too common and it's really annoying.
Yeah, it is. I agree.
The other quirk I have on here is when they were checking on the computer, the laptop said Vio on the back of the laptop.
Well, it is Sony. This is a Sony movie.
Yes, this is Sony's movie. And they do this all the time in movies where you see the Apple or you see the Windows logo or something like that on the back of something. And I'm okay with it, but because it's an animated movie, somebody had to put that in the model. And that's what really gets to me.
Someone had to actually make that model.
Somebody had to make the model and add the logo to it, and that really ticks me off. Like when I saw it, I was like, that is one of the most annoying product placement I have ever seen. Because We both are animators. We know somebody had to go in and put that in.
Yeah.
It's not like they just bought a laptop and dropped it in there like they do in all these other movies. It's actually somebody had to put it in there. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. There was a discussion about which model to use. You know that.
It's awful. My biggest problem with this movie, though, it probably has to do with the fact that it is very similar to the first one. Like, the jokes are all the same. They continued on with the whole blah, blah, blah thing. And, like, the scream cheese thing. And through the whole movie, that's just kind of the same jokes. They don't really enhance anything else upon this movie, and that's kind of disappointing because I always want more out of sequels. So that's all my quirks, man. I was really neutral on this one.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
so let's go ahead and get into you got a long list over there?
Yeah, I do, but I'll go through them pretty quickly because that's how the movie went. It had a blazingly fast pace. I mean, they just jumped through the years.
Yeah, they do.
To get him up to age 5.
Yep, at the very beginning of the movie, they basically just bypass up to 4 years when he gets up to his birthday. So yeah, I agree with that.
There's a really little thing which they used as a crutch throughout the whole movie, which is one of those things which I'm going to tell you right now pisses me off. And at the very beginning, they take a photograph of all the vampires, like a wedding photograph, and they're invisible to the camera.
Yes.
To the photographer's camera. Yeah. The rest of the movie, they're visible on every other camera. They're on surveillance cameras. They're on cell phone cameras.
Yeah.
They're on, webcams on laptops.
Yeah.
And that's how they're communicating in this movie, which I get. But they're visible the whole time.
Okay, I definitely remember the scene you're talking about because it's the very beginning of the movie and it's like at the wedding and they take the picture and they're invisible. Right. So you're right. You're 100% right. Had they just not had that one scene, everything else
at the beginning,
yeah,
which is just a gag. But then, like, ooh, those cameras work differently. No, they don't. Jeez.
All right, what else you got?
Okay, the villain comes out of nowhere at the very end and is never really set up.
You're right. The weird bat thing.
Yeah, they don't really explain him at all anyway.
No, he's just there. Mel Brooks' character. Like, there's no backstory to that at all. It's just how it is. It's kind of weird.
So, I mean, I guess they just, hey, we need something for them to fight.
Yeah.
So, why not?
Yep.
It seems a little disingenuous to me that Drax spends the whole time wanting to change his grandson. And then he finally accepts that, hey, he may be a human. They may have to go away.
Yeah.
But then they give him his powers at the end anyway.
Yeah, so the whole build-up of it doesn't matter who you are, which would probably be the moral of the story, isn't really...
No, it isn't.
Yeah.
And it's... I don't get that. It's kind of like the Chicken Little thing all over again.
Yeah.
Like,
movie was worse.
The sky isn't... It is. It is worse than this. This actually, I mean... I actually thought this was a little better than the first one. The first one really pissed me off.
I did too. I thought this one was just like a little bit better than the first one. And so, it is what it is.
Again, and you already talked about it, the last thing, they did not have an ending for this. So
no, they just dance it off.
Dance off, which is fine if it's a breakdancing type movie.
Well, yeah.
Where they like aliens from outer space come to Earth and they do a breakdance competition to save the Earth. Trademark that.
Oh,
and you have to breakdance to save Earth.
We could pull that movie off.
Whatever. Yeah, probably. Well, and if you do it animated, it's going to make money.
Oh yeah,
that's the thing.
That's the thing, because as long as you you give me a $5 million budget, then I spend $1 million on the movie, and then
Right.
$4 million on ads. I guarantee you I'll make my money back.
Hey, Hoodwink made the money.
They did. That movie cost like $1 million to make, and it is awful. Yet it made 10 times as much as its cost.
Yeah, as long as you don't pull a Titan AE or a Delgo, you're fine.
Yep, you're fine.
Doing animated movies.
Even one of the more recent ones, what was that one with the squirrel? The Nut Job? That one? Same kind of thing. They advertised the heck out of it, but the movie was real cheap to make, and they made money.
Oh, yeah. All right,
anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right, let's go ahead and get into the likes. So,
like time.
Now, I watched the first movie really close to the second one. And the first movie, the animation kind of just annoyed me. Not necessarily like it was bad animation, because the animation was fine. But the style of it seemed like everything was like really quick. And it seemed like it was, I could see the poses. And like the fluidity wasn't quite there. Now, in this one, I really think the animation is a plus side to this movie. I thought it was just better than the first one. It looks like they probably got some more cash to do this one than they did the last one. And I thought the animation was a real plus side. I also really enjoyed, even though he's so minor, I enjoyed Mel Brooks just kind of commands the screen when he gets there. His character. And when he gets, I love how that he has this ridiculous entrance where everybody just like shuts up and looks right at him. And like we were saying earlier, he's like the vampire you would expect. He's different from, like, he's the old vampire that you would expect instead of the moody ones. And I thought that was just a really cool aspect to him too. One of the thing that I actually laughed a lot at in this movie was pretty much everything that happens in the summer camp. That weird summer camp scene where you realize that all these vampires are now just like these wussies. And they're doing the super safety stuff. And I love the scene where he's trying to get Dennis to fly. And, like, that scene goes on long enough to where I'm just like, ugh, this is, how long is he gonna let this go by? Because he's clearly not going. And I like how they just keep commenting to him. And he's like, no, it's okay. They're just like, he's gonna fall to his death.
Yeah. Wow, the ground, he's getting real close to the ground.
That scene, I love that scene, and I was just laughing like crazy in that one. And then even at the end of that, when it finally falls over and Frankenstein is just on fire and he just sets the camp on fire. I was just laughing my ass off on that too. So, like, I thought that was probably the best part of the movie, was actually the summer camp scenes. I just thought those were real fun.
Well, I really liked that it all ended up on YouTube, and then someone did this ridiculous dubstep video, which, again, pisses me off about the camera things, but what a funny gag.
Yeah, it is a funny gag. So, like, I really think that sequence of the movie is really just the best part. Everything else is just not quite as good. And I actually don't have any other likes, so what do you got?
Well, I think if I ever get married, I'm going to insist on the Mavis wedding dress.
Oh,
because
nice.
I really thought that was very cool. I was like, that's awesome. It's great. I like, there's a real brief shout out when they're in the car. There's a fruit by the foot.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it wasn't that great. It's like, oh man, that's crazy. I didn't even think they still made that.
Yeah, that's great. You know, that definitely brings back memories.
I'll tell you, I like and hope that every little kid that went to see this movie then went home and asked their parents where babies come from.
Nice.
Like, that's a weird like, but I feel like that's happening. There's like a percentage there. And I think the last thing is that there are some fun gags in this. Again, I think it actually was an improvement from the first one because I really didn't like the first one at all. But
yeah,
I like that the Invisible Man pretends to have a fake girlfriend.
Yeah, that's a good gag.
And now, if we could just make Spade disappear for good.
Nice. What is your problem with David Spade?
I feel like if I bumped into him at a restaurant or something, I would turn to him and say, "Oh, sorry, ma'am," and he would get really annoyed at me, but he wouldn't say anything. Like, I would see him and I would see his goatee. I would be like, "Oh, get out of here! That's David Spade." But I wouldn't apologize for calling him a girl, and he wouldn't say anything to me either.
Oh man!
Like he wouldn't okay, outside. He wouldn't do that.
Okay, the thing about David Spade is he fits a niche of actor that you just need. I don't know what your problem is. As long as he's not necessarily headlining an entire movie, he's all right to have it.
Are you actually saying that David Spade is needed?
Yeah, well,
did you just say those words to me?
Let me defend myself here.
Okay.
For instance, Emperor's New Groove. He's perfect because you're supposed to hate him through the whole movie.
Jeez.
You're supposed to hate him. He's a jerk through the whole freaking movie.
Okay.
And then he progresses after that. But he's basically just a jerk, and it's like the perfect casting for that actor, for that character.
Emperor's
That's something
New
like
Groove.
that. It's one of the things that makes him good. To have in something.
Oh, damn it. Okay, all right.
As long as it's a character,
I like
you're
that's the example you used.
Well, even when you're talking about movies like Tommy Boy and Black Sheep, like he's the character you hate. Like that's what he's there for.
All right. Okay. All right.
You're not supposed to like him. In all of his movies, he shows up. You're not supposed to like him.
Ooh. That's awesome.
Oh man.
Okay.
All right, let's get to the ratings. I think this movie has some great animation and is slightly better than the original. But the plot is simple and there's a lot of things that can be really just extremely childish at times. But I say if you like the first one, go ahead and rent it.
Yeah, I thought this was actually a little bit of an improvement over the first one. But I think unless you have little kids, this is easily skippable.
Oh, you're just going full on skipping.
No offense to Gendy, but it just isn't. It isn't Samurai Jack. It's basically a better version of that. What's that parent that? That movie Adam Sandler did with all the other parents, where they're at the water park.
Grown Ups?
Grown Ups.
Oh, okay.
It's basically like a better version of Grown Ups.
Yeah, I guess that's fine.
So skip it.
It has like all the same actors, just about.
Yeah.
Which is weird because, the other one's produced by Adam Sandler, so it makes sense. This one is not, but they have the same people.
Yeah, this was pretty good for an Adam Sandler movie.
Oh yeah, it's okay for an Adam Sandler movie.
I'd still skip it.
Oh wow. Hey Jones.
Yo.
I was telling you earlier this week that we ended up getting a message from somebody via Facebook.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And so, this is going to be our first little fan shout-out.
Okay.
And he basically just wanted to say that he liked the podcast and that he was interested in podcasting. So I just want to thank Brandon L. for listening to our podcast because It's nice to know that somebody's listening.
All right. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Brandon L. If we had a t-shirt or something, we'd send it to you.
Yeah, I know, right?
We could probably get some made.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure we could.
Like a raptor trainer or something like that. Or
Nice.
It wouldn't say Half Past Podcast. It would be something else that you would want to wear. Okay, all right. I'll give that some thought.
All right.
Cool.
If anybody else likes to contact us, we definitely have our website, halfpastpodcast.com.
Yeah, like us on Facebook, or like Brandon L., send us a message.
Rate us on iTunes.
We're on Stitcher and Libsyn. I love Stitcher, by the way.
Yeah, Stitcher is a really good program, and it's a shame they're not paying us because we say that pretty often.
Yeah, I like their app.
Email us at halfpastcast@gmail.com. That's halfpastcast@gmail.com. That's probably the best way to get a hold of us. So
yeah, we're on Twitter also at halfpastpodcast.
Yep, go ahead and tweet us there. We are constantly on Twitter and checking email. So thank you for listening and thank you for your support. Next week, we're actually going to try to squeeze a couple in. So we're going to have Black Mass and The Martian.
Sweet.
So this is the Half Past Podcast. I'm Graham Ricks.
Jonesy.
See you next flip.